Hey everyone, so I know I just recently did a video on this 29-gallon beta community tank, and everything's going really well in here. Tia is doing wonderful in this tank. The Pristella Tetras are doing fantastic. I don't know if you can see, but my coolie loaches are actually coming out and about. There's one of them right here. They've been out and very social. Here, maybe I can get a shot from the side. There you go. Everything's going well in this tank, except the problem is with the filter. So this is actually the original filter I had on this tank when I set it up about 1.5 years ago. And I had a lot of problems with this filter back when it was my original filter. And so after so long, eventually I went out and I bought an Aqueon 50. I ran that Aqueon 50 for a few months and then it stopped working randomly. And so I had to go back to using this filter. And now this filter is continuing to have problems where basically every time I do a water change, I have to take the filter apart to get it to come back on again. So I went and picked up the Aqueon QuietFlow 30, good for tanks up to 45 gallons. And the reason I went with the Aqueon QuietFlow is because I've had really good luck with the Aqueon QuietFlow filter on my 20-gallon tank. This is my 20-gallon planted tank. If you've been following my channel for a while, you should be very familiar with it. And it has this Aqueon filter on it right here. It's a smaller filter than the one I just bought, but it does really well. I've never once had any kind of problems with it. The really cool thing about these Aqueon filters is that they are self-priming. You don't need to prime them when you plug them in. They just pick up the water and start going. And so I think that self-priming feature is going to come in really handy with this tank, where basically I keep having problems with this filter even though they're primed. We're going to give this Aqueon filter a try, and we're going to see how it goes. And one thing that I want to accomplish with this video is I want to show you guys the process that I use to basically prevent my filter media from going out of cycle. So I'm going to take all of the contents from inside this filter and I'm going to put them in the new filter. I'm not going to use the filter pads that came with the new filter. I do have a video, it's a little bit older, where I explain how to customize a hang-on back filter with your own custom media. I don't use filter pads. Instead, basically what I do is I mimic the inside of an Aqueon filter by using a sponge, filter floss, and biological media. And so I'm just going to transfer all of that media into the new filter, and I'm going to clean it in tank water so that it doesn't spill out a bunch of debris into the tank when I replace the filter. So the tank is going to get a small water change, nothing too significant, just 1 bucket of water's worth, you know, just enough to rinse off my filter media and pop it into the new filter. So I've got my bucket here, I've got my siphon hose, and I'm basically just going to go ahead and I'm going to turn off the filter and the heater, and I'm going to siphon some water out into this bucket. Show you guys what I mean about the filter media here. So inside here I've got all kinds of different stuff. This was actually a pre-filter sponge that I used on the Aqueon. I threw it inside this filter because it wouldn't fit on the intake, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that in. Got biological media right here, which is ceramics, ceramic rings, and it's just all covered in gunk and waste, so I'm going to drop that in here. Got, look how nasty this this is in here. Good. Filter floss right here. And I just cleaned this stuff out a week ago and it's already this gross. Got more filter floss too. I see it in there. Yeah. And then let's remove that. I don't need that. And I've got the sponge. Come on. There we go. Got my filter sponge right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw all that in this bucket. Take this thing and get rid of it. All right, let's unbox the new filter. So here we go. Like I said, it's the Aqueon QuietFlow 30, good for up to 45 gallons. This is a 29-gallon tank. So here we go. Try and do this one-handed like a professional YouTuber. Got everything out. And it's all wrapped in plastic, which is fine. So, it's a little bit larger footprint than the last filter I had. Than the last two filters, actually, but that's just fine. So here it is. Top of it's taped shut. Let's open that up, peel that tape off. There we go. Pull the lid off. Inside we've got some stuff we're going to use and some stuff we're not going to use. So basically, I'm going to use this, but I'm not going to use this. That's trash. And I am going to use this right here. I love this little sponge surface area. Lots of surface area in this filter. I love that. Lots of surface area for beneficial bacteria to grow on. This right here is a sensor. And it goes right here, just like this. And basically that sensor tells you when your filter media is dirty. It's intended to be used with the cartridge that I'm not going to use, but that's okay. I still have all my stuff in the bucket here. Now I'm just going to take these items one at a time here. Wait a minute. I'm missing something. Where's my intake tube? I don't see it. There it is. There's my intake tube. Oh, I didn't know this piece came off. So here's my intake tube right here. And it is expandable. And I'm definitely going to expand it. So that's how long it gets, and I can go ahead and connect it right here. There we go. So that's how that looks. So now I can go ahead and start putting my filter media, rinsing my filter media out and putting it in. This is trash. I'm not going to use this. That's specific to the top fin filter. So first I actually want to put this in. Let's find my sponge. Here's my sponge. Alright, so let's start by squeezing that out. Getting all that brown off of it. As much as we can, at least. It's obviously not going to be perfect. Then I put my sponge in. Shove it all the way down to the bottom. We're gonna go fishing for filter floss next. So here's some. So let's squeeze all that gunk out of it. Why am I not using fresh filter floss? Well, I want all this beneficial bacteria, that's why. Got this colony of bacteria that eats waste living in this stuff. I don't want to throw that out. There we go. It's not perfectly white again, but it's not bad. Throw that in there. Go fishing. I bet there's more. Yep, there sure is. And just a little bit of squeezing has changed its color. Did you see that? So let's go ahead and put that all in here. I'm not letting it dry out. We have our biological media here. Ceramic rings. And the bag is covered, but really all I need to do with this stuff is just swish it around. And you see it comes clean pretty quickly when I swish it around in the water. That looks pretty good, I think. A lot better than it did. Still got a little bit of waste on it, but nothing too bad. Throw that in here, just like so. And now I want my pre-filter sponge to go on here because I don't want my coolie loaches getting sucked up inside there. It would be nice to actually have a pre-filter sponge again, as opposed to using it inside the filter like I was doing on the top fin. Like I said, this was the pre-filter sponge on my Aqueon 50. It's not a very porous sponge, it's a very fine sponge, so I actually do have to clean it a couple times a week when I use it, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and put that on here, just like so. And then next we're going to attach it to the tank. Slide this forward. Looks like I've got to move the filter around, or not the filter, the heater around. Get this on. There we go. There we go, the filter lid is on. I'm going to go dump out this dirty water, and I'm going to get some clean water to fill the tank. I'm actually going to take a little bit more water out, just to make it easier to put water back in. When I start the refill process by taking a little bit of water out, I make sure the hose is full of water, so that way when I start putting water back in, I don't get a whole lot of spray. Let's go ahead and add my water conditioner. It's filling back up. And I know that you don't technically have to prime this filter, but I am going to pour a little bit of water into it because it's never been run before. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. There we go. The last filter didn't have that much flow. I might have to baffle the flow on this filter because I do have a betta fish in this tank. Alright, so here's what I've done. Well, this is cool. I don't need to tie it on. I can literally just wedge it in there. And it's a very minimal flow now. Alright guys, so I've got my filter completely swapped out. I'm using all of the media from the existing filter. I've lost none of my cycle. I did clean that filter media, but I cleaned it off in tank water. Everything is still 100% still in cycle. And there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned something. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.